Hi everyone, this is Julia Palmer, Community Sciences Research Coordinator with the Delaware Riverkeeper Network, and I'm out here today with Steve with Lewis Fishery, and we're going to learn a little bit about shad and the shad haul. All right, Steve, what are we out here doing tonight?
Well, tonight we ran a haul with 200 yards of net to try to catch some American shad, and we caught 4, and which is a lot less than we've been getting the rest of the week, but it's also gotten very warm very quick, so that's probably having an effect on what we're catching.
How long have you been involved with shad fishing and this Lewis business?
I've been at it since, officially since I was 14, so I think this makes it my 51st or 52nd season. I was also involved even before that as a little kid because obviously the family's been doing it all my life, so as young as you can think of, I was over here getting slimy and muddy.
What are you collecting and why?
Well, what we catch in the net is anything that's out in the river that's really bigger than can get through our net, which is a 3-inch mesh. What we are able to keep are what's classified as food fish, which American shad is part of that group. We're also collecting data on everything we catch, so we're counting all the different fish species and the number of them that we have in the net in any given haul. And then the fish that we keep to sell, we also take we check their sex, their weight, and their length, and take a scale sample of them and send them along to biologists to study to see how the fish are doing and to get some more data on the fish and how good the fishery is in the Delaware.
And what do they do with the scale?
The scales will tell them how old the fish are and how many times it's gone up the river. Like a tree, the scales will have rings for every year the fish is old, and the years that they come up the river, they don't take nutrients in while they're spawning in fresh water, going up freshwater rivers to spawn. They'll start taking minerals from those scales in order to make that trip. So those scale rings, like on a tree that maybe has been in a fire, those rings you can identify because they're ragged on the edges, as opposed to the ones that they're out on the ocean getting fat and healthy for that run are nice and smooth.
And then last question, so how is the shad fishery doing today compared to historically?
Well, historically, this was a way for men specifically to make some extra money in the spring when the shad were running. These were factory towns along the river in the 1800s especially, and back when my great-grandfather started fishing and running this fishery in 1888, a lot of guys would work all day in the factories and then take their time off here and fish. And my great-grandfather, because he was also an owner and owned the fishery and the captain of the fishery, he would make as much in a good shad year as he could the rest of the year working as a carpenter at the paper mill. Those times are long gone. Once the fishery collapsed, started collapsing in the 1920s, and then really collapsed in the 50s. All the fisheries along the river closed except for this one, and my great-grandfather was of a mind that if you left the fishery, there would be no one there to keep tabs on what was happening and to try to help fix whatever the problem was. And that's kind of been what we've switched into, which is an environmental mission now, where we're here to, we're not making any money at this. This is an all-volunteer crew, but what we're doing is we're supplying data to different biologists and fisheries experts to try to keep a handle on what's going on and to try to help them make sense of what's going on with the fishery and if there's anything that can be done to help sustain the fishery better in future years for other generations.
All right, I lied. One last question. What can people do to get involved?
Well, we're here every night in the spring, Monday through Friday in the evening. You can come down and watch. If you're really interested, you can come down and help us out. We also fish Saturday mornings at about 10:30, and you can just spread the word, or you can get your hands dirty and help us fish.
If you would like to get involved or receive shad reports from the Lewis Fishery, you can email lewisfishery@comcast.net. And if you haven't already, make sure to sign up as a member of the Delaware Riverkeeper Network to receive monthly updates of what's going on in the Delaware River watershed.